Rotate your device back. I have to do it vertical. Well, all right. Well, there we go. Let's hope that is feeding correctly to everybody. This is my my first YouTube live. Make sure my mic. Oh no, did I pick a dead mic? Oh, I did. All right. Well, you're all coming with me. We're gonna go make a change real quick since I'm already on, and I don't want to mess this up. Sorry for the delay. We got a storm coming in. We got a really clean gym though. Cleaned everything up today. Actually, I could give you all a quick little tour while we do this. 1 minute in. Apologies for the delay. Thought I was grabbing my charged ones and I wasn't. Let's click that guy. There we go. Check, check, check. Okay. I think we got good mics now. All right. So let's take a quick look. Here's the studio, bunker. Doing laundry. Got the vests ready for tomorrow. The whole place cleaned and mopped and detailed. We're ready to rock. I got all of the my new ceiling tiles all put in. These are my sound killers. So we got all those put in there. So excited about that. We're ready to rock, man. Okay. Let's try this again. Now we're ready. Pre-storm. Got a storm rolling in. We got the Bears game on tonight. So excited about that. We got the Niners on right now playing in the rainstorm. It's gonna be fun. But before we do all that, 2 minutes in, let's talk about training the aging body and some of the strategies that we use to do this. So the reason that I'll bring this up and the reason that I wanted to pop on here, number one, my first YouTube live. Haven't done one of these before, so I hope it goes well. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll get better at it obviously as we go. But I get a lot of questions, and one of the questions came up today about rucking. So that's one of the strategies we definitely like to implement in. I love our clients to ruck. I like our clients to resistance train. I like our clients to do kind of the what I'll call non-traditional components. So we will emphasize that as strategies. We like our clients to do some variation of an overhead movement pattern that is comfortable for them or capable for them. And then our fifth one is kind of the everything else strategy, which we'll talk about sleep, proper nutrition, cognitive mindset, all that. So quickly, let's just dive into rucking here. Number one. One of the questions is, how often do I ruck and how far and why? So simply put is I ruck 3 times a week, and I do 2 short rucks. I do Tuesday, Thursdays, and those short rucks for me are 3 to 5 miles, usually 5. I'm pretty consistent going 5 every time we go out. If I get out a little bit earlier than normal, maybe I'll go 6 miles. And then I'm also doing a route in my neighborhood here that I know, and I can do a couple different variations of it, but there's a lot of hills. I love the hills. I'm a goat. I like going to find stuff to climb up, and I'll carry a little bit more weight on those ones. And then on Saturday is my long ruck, and that will be 8 to 12, if not a little bit more. So typically it's about 8 to 10 is kind of where I go, but every once in a while, like in January, every year we do a 20 miler, if not more. Whatever the year ends in, that's how many miles we go. So this next year I'll do 20.23 miles. We did it on New Year's, every time. We got this wonderful blustery storm. I gotta tell you, we've been locked inside for the last 3.5 months with 100 plus degree heat. And so it's 60 degrees out, and I am loving this, so I couldn't help but do this from out here. So I hope you don't mind the wind and the blowing. I got my little cover on, so I'm hoping that it's covering it up pretty good. All right, so the rucking, little bit lighter on Saturdays when I go for my long ones. And the benefit to this, the value to this, I'm talking about, 20 miles a week. Like, you don't need to do that much. Your clients or yourself, you could just, if you go walk for 30 minutes every day, that's fantastic. Put on a 10 pound, put on a 10-pound vest or a 10 to 15-pound ruck, backpack, anything where you can carry load and just go. 15 minutes away, 15 minutes back. You should get pretty close to 2 miles, in that block. And that's a great place to start. And then you can gradually start to build a little bit more from that. If you're going more than an hour, I suggest that you wear a rucksack. Get a ruck that has shoulder straps and the harness, the waist harness, because you want to be able to separate some of that load and put some of the stress of the load you're carrying on your hips. Think of like an overnight, like camping backpack. Those are fantastic examples of that, where they can cinch up around your hips and take some of the load off your shoulders. And you can literally loosen the shoulder straps to the point where they're just kind of dangling. Like, all it does is hold the backpack to you, and all the weight's sitting on the hips. So it's a wonderful thing. Okay, so there's rucking. Okay, number 1. Number 2 is our resistance training. We want our clients to lift 2 to 3 days a week. We are going to start the first 8 to 12 weeks twice a week. And I love a Monday, Thursday split, a Tuesday, Friday split, something like that, where they get a good 48 to 72 hours in between their lifting sessions. Remember, they're going to be rucking in between. So they're not doing a 2.5 or 3 day recovery. They're doing 2.5 or 3 days between lifting sessions, okay? So a great example is a Monday, Thursday lifting routine to start. And then Tuesdays and Fridays, they can go out and ruck short. Sundays, they can ruck long, and that would leave them with Wednesdays and Saturdays off to do whatever they want. Go golfing, go swimming, go do anything. We just need 30 minutes of physical activity a day, and that 30-minute is going to build up to 60 at some point. So the goal is do 60 minutes of physical activity every day, but again, take 8 to 12 weeks to do that. After 8 to 12 weeks of adaptation, introduction, then we will bump up to 3 days of resistance training a week. That's our goal for our clients anyhow. All right, so there's resistance training. Third one is the 5 lifting components. We are going to hinge and or squat. I feel like those movement patterns go together. So that's something that I want to pair with them to learn how to hinge really well, bridge. Then they can do a vertical hinging pattern, RDLs, and build up to some swings. And then they can do a vertical hinging pattern with bent knees, deadlift, hex bar, rack pull, etc., that kind of thing, and start to get a little bit more dynamic and explosive in the movement patterns that they do. And that will also kind of lead us up to some of the other more dynamic, like Olympic style lifts, like a fat bell or a kettlebell or a dumbbell clean and press. Again, we do dumbbells and single arms, duals, that kind of thing. No barbell work, not with this demographic. And we'll do snatches as well, okay? So there's our hinge pattern. We will do something where they're going to split their feet, either gate steps, split squats, step ups, some variation of that. Then we're going to get them to carry heavy loads, wherever that's going to be, row fairly heavy loads, from horizontal or vertical, either one. And the last one is the overhead movement pattern, but that kind of leads us specifically into the 4th key component we're training the aging body, is when you do train overhead, not everybody can do that. And so you have to pick an exercise that will eventually groove the path for you to get to the point where you can press overhead, okay? Because pressing overhead is really important. We kind of think like, how often do I have to put my arms over my head? Well, if you're putting on a t-shirt, pretty often. If you're putting away groceries and dishes and picking up grandkids and, doing some things where you're going to be bringing weight at least up to your face, if not a little bit higher, put things away in the cupboards, in the closet. If you're decorating the Christmas tree, these are things you may not do every day, but you need to be able to do. What if you're cleaning out the gutters? What if you're hanging Christmas lights? What if you just want to put up a bird feeder? Like, these are all overhead movements. And if you literally do not do them, you will lose the ability to do that. Like, your joints will just seal up, harden up, and you just won't be able to do it. So if we're looking at that type of person, to give them a weight and say, just press this over your head, well, they can't. They literally cannot do it. So what do? Do we just say, mail it in? Well, no, we got to find a way to get there. So we can start with different shoulder raises and some pullovers and some vertical pull downs from overhead, and then eventually build to the point where they've got enough strength and they've grooved enough of a pattern where they can eventually put their arms over their head, and then we could load putting their arms over their head. And then your fifth pattern, or your fifth component to training the aging body, is what we call every other thing of recovery / nutrition / cognitive repair. I want my body to get enough sleep every night. I want to hydrate really well. I want to eat like a grown-up, eat like you want to live. Okay, it doesn't mean that you can't indulge and have a drink on occasion, or have some pie or a Rice Krispie treat. Like, I get it. Live life. You're talking to a guy who had 16 surgeries. I've had cancer twice. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you broccoli and, skinless chicken and broil your, nah. Enjoy your life. You just can't do that for every single meal of every single day. You can't out-train a diet like that. But I do want you to live. I do want you to enjoy. But I also, kind of keep in mind, hey, you gotta, what you're putting into your body is going to keep you alive. So if you keep putting junk in there, you're probably not going to live all that long, or function all that well while you're attempting to live a little longer. So think about how often you sleep, how much and how well you are hydrated, what type of food you're putting into the body. And then your cognitive, mental mindset is super important. We don't give enough credit to meditation, to clarity, to having time in our day where things are quiet, where we're just sitting here and enjoying the breeze and taking in the moment and closing our eyes and just letting our minds relax for a second. We just don't really do that often at all. It's always fast-paced, go, go, go. And this is a fast-paced, go, go, go person telling you that. You gotta have some time. You need part of your mental time. Like, the reason I get up when I get up, I don't do 3-hour workouts, okay? I take my time. I do a 90-minute workout. Again, that's me. I take a lot of time to warm up. I really gotta loosen up my body and get it ready to go. But prior to that, I'm taking my time. I have my mental clarity time. I'm either listening to something educational, or I'm putting on my music that kind of puts me into my mood. It's nothing violent. It's usually like Johnny Cash or some type of old country music. This is kind of getting me mellowed and that's my time. You need your time. Time where you're not thinking about what you're going to do today, the balancing of the checkbook, the bills, the gym, the life, and the kids, and the future goals, and the vacations, and who's going to cover, and this surgery, and that. I mean, all of that, it's anxiety ridden, right? Just have a little time in your day where you zone out and you just don't worry about any of that. And that's why I enjoy watching movies so much. I love being told a story, because it gets me to stop thinking about what I have going on, and I can buy into something else. And that's why I appreciate that so much. I think I've talked about this a couple of times, but I minored in Greek mythology, so I know that pretty well. I also minored in American Sign Language, so I'm pretty, not anywhere near fluent, but I'm pretty good with sign language. And I was also 1 credit away from having a minor in American cinematography, or no, not American, just cinematography. And I loved that. I enjoyed, I did a history class once. It was history with film. And so it taught you about, I think that was American history. It was American history, but with film. And so they used movies to show you the timelines, and man, did it stick. I'm so much more of a visual learner, but also in the storytelling process, I really bought into it and remembered everything so much more efficiently. Think of learning about World War II and being able to watch Band of Brothers in the Pacific and Saving Private Ryan. Pair all those 3 things together and be like, how do you not remember the World War II and the Axis and the Allies, and things kicking off in 39 and America's entry with Pearl Harbor in 41, and then things wrapping up with the Japanese surrendering on the Missouri and the Pacific in 1945. How do I remember that crap? Because of those shows. Those things are grilled into my mind because I remember them that way. That's a part of our learning tools. And so that's why I like to do videos, and I like to demonstrate and show things, because I feel like a lot of people learn the way that I learn is by seeing and hearing and connecting. And that's when you connect all 3 of your learning domains: your psychomotor, your physical, actual doing of something; your cognitive, the mental understanding; and then the affective is the emotional connection between the physical movements and the cognitive components. And marrying those 2 things together and trusting that's affective. So that's when you're like, oh, I see what my trainer is asking me to do, and he's physically moved me through the mechanics, and I can do it, but I also don't hurt anymore when I squat or when I deadlift, because all of his changes and his cues really help me. So now I understand why we did this. I physically did it. And because those things worked, now I trust it and I value it. And that's my affective connection. I've now learned that whole thing because I trust it and I value the whole process. All right, there's your 5 components, each with its own 5 subcategories. So really that was 25 things that hopefully you can take back and older adults who are an aging body start to practice some of these things. And then when I say things like a grown up, I'm not throwing shade or giving anybody a hard time if you enjoy. I have root beer barrels as my snack. That I have 2 or 3 of those a day because I enjoy a little piece of candy. And I have this medicine that I have to take every day that tastes nasty. And so I pop in a root beer barrel, I have my medicine, and that's my excuse for why I get to have 3 root beer barrels a day. But I like it. I'm not telling you not to live your life and not to enjoy some of your things. But am I having 15 of those a day? No. And I am doing it with every single, no, not every time, but pretty much almost every time. I won't lie to you. I really like it. But I'm very selective with those things, and that's my point. Okay? Eat like a grown-up. Take care of your body. Hydrate, people. Hydrate. One of the biggest issues with the aging body and why we don't like to hydrate, why so many older people are so dehydrated, they don't like getting up to go to the bathroom. Can you believe that? That's the answer. They don't like to get up to go to the bathroom because they're not physically capable of getting up and down without it being a huge effort. This monstrous effort every time to have to groan and push their body up and waddle into the bathroom. It's this big pain in the ass for them to do. And so there's like, I'm just not going to drink anything so I don't have to go to the bathroom. And so you're just dehydrating your body that's already weak and withering away even more. Anyway, I could rant forever. I hope you enjoyed this, YouTube. Give me some comments down below. Let me know how you liked it. Again, apologies for the wind. If it's super windy, it was 115 degrees last week. It was so miserably hot here that this 68 degree weather with this breeze, I could not be out here in this. I want to record outside so often now that we're into the fall and the winter. I'll be out here all bundled up. I can't wait. I love you all. I hope you're doing well. If there's anything I can do for you, feel free to reach out, comment down below. I got you covered. Please share, please like, please subscribe. Help me grow this channel. I really appreciate the support. Head over to trainingtheolderadult.com if you have any information or want any more information about what we do we offer right here at TOA. All right, everybody, get inside, get out of the rain. Enjoy your day. Love you, gang. Take care. Bye-bye.